Hi, my name is Fagin, and I have ADHD. Now, depending on who you are, it might lead you to make some assumptions. You might be picturing a fidgety, annoying, forgetful, and maybe even a little chaotic person. And yes, I am some of these things, but I'm also creative, athletic, driven. And when I am focused on something, I can do anything. We've been taught to view ADHD as a disorder, or as it says in the name, a deficit. But what if it's not that? What if it's just a different way of thinking or a different operating system? By taking all the core traits of ADHD, like impulsivity and restlessness, and using them as tools rather than obstacles, I was able to unlock incredible superpowers that come with creativity, energy, hyper-focus, and more that led to impressive breakthroughs. In the right environment, ADHD is not a disability, it is a superpower, and I'm here to show you why today. Raise your hand if you've ever walked into a room and totally forgotten why. Yeah, okay, you can all put your hands around that. That's me in every single room. And when I was growing up, I never thought I had a superpower. I thought I was broken. I would forget assignments. I would zone out. I would start things and never finish them. People told me to just focus, and people on my soccer team called me weird, and I believed them, and it really hurt. And for a long time, ADHD seemed like a label I could never escape, and a way I would never succeed. But then something shifted. I slowly noticed the things that I could do. I could come up with 10 ideas, and at the same time it would take others to come up with one. I could run around for hours playing sports and never get tired. I could take risks other people were afraid to take because I didn't overthink them, I just did them. And after I started noticing these things, I researched ADHD, not as a disability or a diagnosis, but as a different kind of brain, and I realized that I was not as alone as I once thought. In Scientific American, Ferris Straub writes about how people with ADHD often take more creative risks and approach problems in ways nobody else does. The impulsivity that had gotten me in trouble prior now fuels innovation. Ferris Straub says impulsivity can power entrepreneurship and innovation because people with ADHD are more likely to go into uncertain situations without overthinking the possible failure. This natural way of acting quickly and passionately can result in things other people might be afraid to pursue. Therefore, impulsivity becomes courage. B. Paris Hilton, who I actually don't know who it is, but even calls her ADHD superpower. In the interview with Teen Vogue, Hilton says that it makes her laser focus on things she is passionate about. This is a large part of her success as a businesswoman. Teen Vogue's interview unveils that Hilton unveils ADHD can help people get incredibly laser focused on their passions with laser-like intensity, a trait Hilton calls her superpower. This ability to hyper-focus can lead to incredible achievements in things such as art and technology. Now I know what you guys might be thinking. Okay, you might be creative and passionate, but ADHD is still a struggle, right? And yes, I am not here to sugarcoat ADHD. ADHD can mean losing the same thing 6 times in one morning. It can mean missing important deadlines or zoning out in conversations, or feeling like a computer with 100 different tabs open, and not one of them is loading. And yes, it is very frustrating, but it is also completely misunderstood. But the struggle doesn't cancel out strength. They often actually work together. Very Well Mind explores that people with ADHD actually have a higher scores on divergent thinking, or the kind of thinking that leads to innovation and problem solving, the kind of thinking we celebrate in famous artists and inventors. People like Richard Branson, Michael Phelps, and Simone Biles all have ADHD and learn to work with it, leading to their success. Richard Branson is an English billionaire, businessman, investor, and author who co-founded the Virgin Group in 1970. Michael Phelps is an Olympic athlete, winning an incredible 82 medals in his career and becoming the most decorated athlete in history. Simone Biles is an 11-time Olympic medalist, and she also has 30 World Championship medals. In 2020, Simone Biles dropped out of the Olympics due to mental health concerns related to ADHD and anxiety, but came back in 2024 winning 4 medals, and 3 gold and 1 silver, and that's impressive. ADHD often walks hand in hand with anxiety. It's like having a brain that won't sit still, and then worrying about your brain not sitting still correctly. But here's the thing, in the right environment, with the right people, both ADHD and anxiety can be managed and even transformed into a type of superpower. Let me take you to high school. I played 3 sports, soccer, basketball, flag football, and somehow managed to survive it all with ADHD. But early on it was rough. I was constantly anxious, always restless, and felt like I was running a race I could never catch up in. During my sophomore year of basketball, I barely played. I would think that I wasn't good enough, and I felt invisible. And then something changed. I found my people, and ironically, they were not my teammates, but they were my coaches. And no, they were not the ones that were putting me in the game every single game, because they weren't. But Coach Cunningham and Castaldo created something I hadn't felt before, which was safety. They didn't just teach me drills or run plays. They created an environment where I didn't feel broken, an environment where I could actually breathe. Fast forward to the 2025 sectional finals, and we didn't win the game, but something I gained was something more important, proof that the right environment does change you. Right before tip-off, my coach, Castaldo, brought me a bluey tattoo. Just a simple tattoo, a temporary one, not a big deal, right? Yes, but to me it was everything. See, every time I started to panic or let the anxiety take over, he would point to his tattoo and I would point to mine. No words needed. It was a quiet reminder that I was grounded, that I was capable, and that I could do this. And that wasn't a one-time thing. It was just a symbol of the trust that we built, of how much it means to have someone who gets you, who doesn't try to change your brain, but helps you channel it. And my coach Cunningham would always say, "Do you trust me?" And over time, it was 100% yes. And because of this trust, because of this environment, I went from barely getting on the court in basketball to helping my team win 2 sectional finals and making it to states once. This is not just a win for the scoreboard, this is a win for a kid who used to think she didn't belong. And I know what you might be thinking, well, cool for you, you had coaches who cared. And yes, I was incredibly lucky, but this talk is not a coach appreciation speech. It is about what's possible when you have or create the right environment. But here's the truth, not everyone gets this lucky, not everyone has mentors, coaches, or teachers who understand them, but it doesn't mean that you're stuck. If you haven't found the right environment yet, build one. Find things that make you feel alive, the things that make your ADHD brain light up, whether it's painting, coding, skateboarding, writing, music, whatever it is, do it, chase it, and obsess over it the best way. Because eventually you'll get really good at it, because the same brain that forgets to turn in their math homework is the same brain that can imagine, create, perform, and push limits. ADHD is not about fixing yourself, it's about finding or building the world where your strengths can thrive. So you can have success with ADHD. When people stop asking people with ADHD to just focus like everyone else does, instead of helping them focus on things that they love, that's when great things happen. Let's try another, Let's try another thing. Raise your hand if you ever had an incredible idea and you could never stop thinking about it day and night. Okay, now keep your hand up if you actually followed through with that idea. Okay, you can all put your hands down now. That's where a person with ADHD thrives. Its burst of complete obsession is like jet fuel. When we care, we fully commit to an idea, and that's no deficit, that's a superpower. Not everyone sees it this way. Some teachers, coaches, bosses, and friends still think of a kid with ADHD as being a lazy or disruptive one. This actually holds kids back and creates more shame than ambition. And there is good news though, we can change the script from saying what's wrong with you to what can I do to help you. In Attitude magazine, the author, a person with ADHD, says, I don't need to be fixed, I just need people to stop trying to fix me. And for a long time, this really hit me because for a long time I struggled with this, and I thought that I need to be fixed. I thought I would only have success with being more organized and focused, which seemed impossible for me. But I now know that my brain is not broken, it's just buzzing with brilliance. Just think about it. In a world where everything is predictable and linear, ADHD minds are a zigzag. We think outside the box, and we think about ideas nobody else has. We bring energy and imagination, and yes, sometimes we lose our train of thoughts, but sometimes we find better ones. If you're still not convinced yet, let me leave you with this. The traits that we call disorders today might be the traits that push the world forward in the future. So next time someone says you're too much, just smile, and because sometimes too much is just what the world needs. My name is Fagin, and I have ADHD, and it is not my weakness, it is my superpower. Thank you.